All right, guys, we're gonna show you how to do your hand wraps. So when you unwrap the hand wrap, you're gonna have a thumb loop down on one end, okay? And on some of the wraps, it's gonna have in text, it's gonna say this side down. And if that's the case, you wanna make sure that the text is facing down towards your arm. All right, so we take the thumb loop, we hook it on, and we pull it over the wrist so it's moving away from me. Other ones you'll see have maybe like a tag like this. Like my tag says this side up, so that's facing up. Sometimes the tag might say this side down, and in that case, then the tag should be facing down. All right, so you just gotta figure that first part out with your particular wrap. And then we're gonna pull it over the thumb, over the wrists, like that, get it taut. And now we're gonna start wrapping the wrists. I'm gonna wrap 3 times. I'm gonna scoot a little closer so you can see here better. I'm gonna wrap 3 times, but you just gotta kind of figure out the wraps for you, and you may have to wrap 5, 6 times, all right? And now I'm gonna wrap the thumb. This is the full wrap. I'm doing the hard way first, the full wrap. Now I go around my thumb, so from the front side, around the thumb completely, back around the wrist again. Now, as I'm wrapping, I want to make sure that I'm not twisting the wrap. So I'm going to go around the wrist one more time, so now it looks like that. Now I'm going to go up to my pinky knuckle. So I bring it up to my pinky knuckle, and I'm going to wrap my fingers. And as I wrap the fingers, I'm going to wrap almost to my middle knuckles here. Not all the way there, but almost, kind of about pinky knuckle. I'll do that once again, like 3 to 5 times. I'm just gonna do 3 right now. And once again, we gotta make sure we're not twisting, because then it's not gonna Velcro at the end. Like, the reason why it says this side down is so that the Velcro works at the end. Okay, so now I'm gonna go from there diagonally across the thumb, and then up in between my fingers, my pinky and my ring finger, right there, and then back around the thumb again. This is where you gotta make sure it doesn't get twisted. Now through the middle. And then through the pointer finger here. Around the thumb. This is where it kind of starts looking a little bit sloppy, but we fix that in just a moment. So around the thumb, and then look, I'm gonna go around the wrist one more time, pull it tighter to the wrist, and now back up to the pinky knuckle. And then you'll see here, I go back around the knuckles a few more times. So I'm kind of like, all those diagonal wraps are getting kind of locked in, so they're not sliding apart. And I'm covering my knuckles completely as I do this, so I'm going close to the middle knuckles here at the end, but not all the way. And here again, you just have to figure out how many times you have to do that. All right. I'm doing it like 3 times. And then we're gonna go around the wrist, around the knuckle, around the wrist. And you'll kind of finish off just wrapping around the wrist as many times as you need at the end there. So in the end, it looks like this. Got it woven between the fingers, but covered up, nice. So it's a nice solid wrap. Again, you're gonna have to figure out how many times you need to wrap your wrap. Wraps do come in different lengths, but it's hard to get all the different lengths and the different colors. So I pretty much got the same lengths, so we could get all the different colors. And then, so maybe more wraps around the wrist or the knuckles, and more maybe from the wrist to the knuckle, kind of going back and forth, which I'll show more of that in the easy wrap, just to get the right number. And you might have to go up the forearm a little farther, and that's fine too, right? So there's your complete wrist wrap. Now we're gonna see the simple version. All right, so this simple wrist wrap starts out just the same, but what we're gonna be doing is excluding the thumb and the fingers and just focus on wrist support and knuckle padding, all right? So this is a little easier for some of the younger kids especially. I'm just gonna wrap it around my wrists. Once again, kids will probably do this like 5 or 6 times. I'm just gonna do it 3 right now. And then I go up to the pinky knuckle, and I'm always moving it over my hand, moving away from me in the same direction. And we'll do this 5 or 6 times again. I'm gonna do it 3, like that. So now we got this going on. And then we're gonna go back down to the wrist. And we're gonna go a few times from wrist to knuckle. Wrist to knuckle. And I'm always pulling it to keep it taut, but I don't want to cut off my blood circulation, so I don't pull too tight. And this is really going to give some good wrist support here, doing it this way. So just going around in a diagonal from around the knuckle, and back around the wrist, and back around the knuckle, and back around the wrist. And they're just gonna have to, do that as many times as needed. And then they can focus more on just the wrist at the end. All right, so it looks like that. I don't have the fingers wrapped in between like I did in the other wrap, the complete wrap. And I don't really have my thumb wrapped. They could still do the thumb in this if they wanted to, but it's not necessary. It's gonna be in the glove. And that's that.